Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Rudcast. The Rudcast. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Sorry, I got abducted by aliens there. If you haven't read, they're apparently a thing now. Just Google it. It's a real thing. All right, today's question comes from Denise, who is a wonderful writer who I have spoken to in the past. And she asks a question that honestly breaks my heart a bit, but I do understand it because I've been there. She says, succinctly, honestly, candidly, I'm sure many of you have felt this way, I have no idea what to write about. That sucks. It really sucks when this happens. I felt this so many times, and I feel you. I have a few suggestions. Number one would be, why do you want to write? Do you have a specific goal in mind? Some people listening to this have a very specific goal. They might not know what to write, but they do have a specific goal. And be honest about this. It could be, I want to make a bunch of money. That's fine. But be honest with that up front. And then try to reverse engineer what's the best way for me to make that money. If you have an existing business, then the question becomes, what's the most attractive thing I can write to get people interested in my business? If you don't, you have to start asking questions like, what do I have to offer people? What can I sell people? For many of you, it won't be a financial thing. It will be, I want to connect with a certain group of people. Then again, research that market. What is missing in that market, and what can you say that has not already been said? How can you enter the existing conversation? How can you disagree with something that's out there? How can you agree with something and add on top of it? Is there something about your life, your perspective, your ideas, your psychographics, your demographics that isn't well represented? How can you do that? But for many people, you won't have a specific goal. And I suspect that Denise is asking this because she probably doesn't have a specific goal. Could be wrong there, but many people listening just know that they want to write, but don't know what to write about. I would tell you, first, when's the last time that you wrote something bad? Because the only way to write something good is to write 50 bad things first. If you haven't written anything bad, don't come to me asking for advice because you haven't done the prerequisites, right? Think of it as a warm-up. If any of you have played sports, you know that, especially as you get older and you're out of practice, you need to warm up before playing a sport or you're just going to be frozen, literally stiff, physically frozen. Write a warm-up. Here are some prompts for you. Write what you're angry about right now. You might be angry about my advice. Write why you're angry about my advice. Tell me the story behind whatever emotion you're feeling. What is making you say, I have no idea what to write about? Do you feel stuck? What makes you feel stuck? When's the first time you remembered feeling stuck? When's the last time you weren't stuck? Why weren't you stuck? What excites you? I think negative emotions are a little easier if you're especially stuck, so definitely focus on, what am I angry about? What am I sad about? What do I disagree with in the market that I'm thinking about? What's the craziest story of the past year? What's the craziest story I can think of? When's the first time I remember having this desire to write? How does it feel when I can't write? Write stories. Tell me stories. Describe your emotions. Write manifestos. Manifestos and stories are the easiest things to start with. What do you stand for? What do you stand against? If you're stuck, use that stuckness to fuel your writing. Think of the emotions and the stories behind whatever thoughts are in your head. And also just try, if none of this works, just write stream of consciousness. Set a timer for 10 minutes and write stream of consciousness. You can do this by hand. You can do this on a computer. It doesn't matter. Take a 5-minute break, go for a walk, then go back and see what's one topic I can write about based on this. If you do all of that and still don't have anything to write about, then there's something else there. And I want you to write to me about that, and I will give you a follow-up answer. I hope this helps. I don't mean to sound harsh. This is really hard. I struggle with this stuff all the time, and I've been doing this for over 10 years. But there's always something beneath that stuckness. There's always an emotion. There's always a story. There's always a why. Uncover those 3 things. Uncover the stories beneath your frustrations. Uncover the emotions beneath your frustrations. And uncover the why this bothers you so much. What is it that you want to accomplish? Who do you want to connect with? And start to reverse engineer. And if none of that works, just write a stream of consciousness, take a break, go back, and see if there's anything to write about there. And if there's not, try it again tomorrow. And if that still doesn't work, then just dictate. This is part of what I'm doing with this podcast. I'm dictating my ideas and I'm working them out in real time. You'll notice that this isn't the most structured or perfect advice. I apologize for that. I'm doing my best, but I will go back to all of this and I will turn it into more refined writing. This is a great way to get ideas. Just dictate. I do this well on my own. A lot of people do this well with other people. Talk to a friend, talk to a stranger, talk to a coach. You can hire someone like me. I'd be happy to work with you. Talk to someone in your field, talk to someone out of your field about something in your field, right? It can be good to have an outsider's perspective to see what they're interested in. It can be good to have an insider's perspective to see what they're interested in, what they disagree with you about. Have a disagreement. Get in a fight and write it down. Record yourself fighting with someone. Record yourself discussing an idea with someone. Have someone interview you. Interview someone else. Just move. When you're stuck, move. Move physically, go for a walk. Move intellectually, read something. And just create without worrying what will come out of it. Because if you ramble for 7 minutes like I did right now, it's impossible for you to not have a decent idea. And if it is, then something's missing and you just need to keep moving and moving and moving, and you're probably just out of practice. And I guarantee you after 3, 4, 5 times of doing this, you'll have an idea. Even if it's, wow, Matt is really freaking annoying. That's fine. That's still an idea. Write about why this advice bothered you. This is a serious prompt. If anyone listened to this and is bothered by this advice, write me an essay on why it bothers you so much. I will publish it in my newsletter and link to your website or your Twitter or your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever. I challenge you just to write something, anything. Start with an emotion, start with a story, and write. Best of luck. I really do empathize with this question. I wish you all the best. Anyone listening to this, please feel free to reach out anytime. And if you want my personalized guidance with what you should write, then just check out platypusbooks.com and apply to get published. Apply to work with me to help you get published and build your audience and all that fun stuff. Take care. Thank you again for the thoughtful question, Denise, and I hope this helps.